In the summer of 1588, England waited for an invasion that many believed would end its existence. Across the dark waters of the English Channel, an enormous fleet moved closer with every passing day. 130 warships stretched across the horizon, their sails filled with wind, their decks crowded with soldiers trained for conquest. They came from Spain, the most powerful empire the world had ever seen. Their mission was not negotiation. Their mission was destruction. If they succeeded, England would fall, its cities would burn, its queen would be captured or killed, its people would be forced into submission, and no one believed England could stop them. Spain's empire was too rich, too powerful, too unstoppable. Fear spread through English towns and villages. Families whispered about what would happen when the Spanish arrived. Soldiers prepared themselves for a battle they might not survive. England was outnumbered, outmatched, and alone. But in England's darkest hour, its queen made a decision that would shock her enemies and inspire her people forever. She would not run, she would not hide, she would face the coming storm herself, and in doing so, she would transform fear into defiance. Before we set sail into the daring story of the queen who faced the Spanish Armada, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss history's most epic moments. Why England had a queen capable of facing the greatest empire of her time, we must first know Elizabeth. Born in 1533, Elizabeth was the daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. From the beginning, her life was marked by danger and uncertainty. Her mother was executed, her legitimacy questioned. She spent years navigating the treacherous waters of court intrigue. Yet, through it all, Elizabeth grew into a sharp, intelligent, and politically astute leader. She mastered diplomacy, understood the ambitions of foreign powers, and learned to command loyalty from those around her. When she ascended the throne in 1558, England was a nation divided by religion. Catholics and Protestants alike questioned her rule. Nations larger and richer than England eyed its shores as ripe for conquest. Among them was Spain. King Philip II saw Elizabeth as a political rival and a threat to his vision of a Catholic Europe. England's support of privateers attacking Spanish treasure fleets and its Protestant faith made conflict inevitable. By 1588, Elizabeth was not a young, inexperienced monarch. She was a queen who had survived plots, rebellion, and uncertainty. She understood both her people and her enemies, and when the Spanish Armada approached, she faced a decision that would test her courage and the very survival of her nation. To understand the danger England faced, you must understand the power of the man who sent the Armada. King Philip II of Spain did not see himself as merely a ruler. He saw himself as a defender of an empire chosen by God. Spain controlled vast territories across Europe and the Americas. Its ships carried unimaginable wealth, gold and silver, taken from the New World, flowing endlessly into Spanish hands. Its armies were feared across continents. Its navy ruled the seas. Spain was not just strong, it was dominant. And Philip believed England had become a dangerous threat. England had rejected the authority of the Catholic Church. Its Queen Elizabeth ruled as a Protestant monarch. To Philip, this was more than political rebellion. It was a direct challenge to the religious order he believed must be protected. But religion was only part of it. English ships commanded by daring captains attacked Spanish treasure fleets. They stole gold meant to strengthen Spain's empire. To Philip, Elizabeth was not just a rival, she was an enemy, and he believed it was his duty to remove her from power. So he ordered the creation of the greatest invasion fleet Europe had ever seen. The Spanish Armada, 130 ships, 30,000 men. A floating army sent to crush a nation. Philip was certain of victory. He believed nothing could stop him. He was wrong. In 1588, the Spanish Armada, a formidable fleet, finally set sail. For days, English lookouts scanned the horizon, their eyes fixed on the vast expanse, waiting. Then they appeared. Ships, dozens of them, then more, until the sea vanished beneath Spanish sails. It was a terrifying sight, the largest naval force England had ever faced. England's navy was smaller, its ships fewer, and its resources limited. But England's commanders knew they couldn't win by brute strength. They had to outthink their foe. English ships were faster, more agile, built for maneuverability, not just sheer size. They attacked from a distance, striking quickly with cannons, then retreating before Spain could respond. Again and again, they harassed the massive Spanish fleet. The Spanish struggled to adapt. Their formation weakened, and their progress slowed. But England had not yet won. Spanish soldiers could still land on English soil. If that happened, the fate of England would be decided on land. Elizabeth knew this. She had to prepare her people for what might come next. As the Spanish fleet drew closer, Elizabeth's advisors urged her to leave London. They feared the worst. If the Spanish army landed, she could be captured, executed, used as a symbol of England's defeat. They told her to escape while she still could. She refused. Instead, she did something extraordinary. She rode to Tilbury, where her army had gathered. Thousands of soldiers stood waiting. They were not professional warriors. They were ordinary men. Farmers, laborers, citizens preparing to face one of the most powerful armies on earth. Elizabeth appeared before them on horseback. She wore armor not as decoration, but as a symbol of her willingness to fight alongside them. She did not hide her fear, but she did not surrender to it. She spoke to them not as a distant queen, but as someone who shared their danger. She told them she would live or die among them. In that moment, everything changed. Her soldiers no longer stood as frightened men facing an unstoppable empire. They stood as defenders of their queen, defenders of their home, defenders of their future. And they were ready. But in the end, the final blow did not come from cannons. It came from the sky. As the damaged Spanish fleet struggled to regroup, powerful storms descended upon them. Violent winds tore through their ships. Waves smashed against their hulls. The sea itself turned against them. Ships were scattered. Some collided with each other. Others were driven into rocky shores and destroyed. Men drowned in freezing waters. The great Armada, the fleet that was meant to conquer England, was breaking apart. Spain's invasion was over. The empire that believed itself unstoppable had been defeated, not just by England's navy, but by England's resistance, and by the courage of a queen who refused to abandon her people. Elizabeth's decision to stand and fight had done more than protect her throne. It had protected her nation, and it had changed history forever. England would go on to become one of the most powerful nations the world had ever seen, and Elizabeth would forever be remembered as the queen who faced the greatest empire of her time and did not run. History is shaped by those who refuse to surrender even when defeat seems certain. Queen Elizabeth stood against an empire that believed it could not lose, and by standing firm, she changed the fate of her nation. If you want to discover more true stories of courage, leadership, and the moments that changed the world, subscribe to ThinkSmart Media. Because the greatest stories in history are not just about power. They are about those who dared to resist it.